Something is very wrong in Landman Season 2, and Episode 8 is about to expose it. The trailer doesn't tease danger anymore. It confirms it. Trust is collapsing, loyalties are shifting, and one quiet decision could destroy everything Tommy has built. The most shocking part is not the oil wells, not the contracts, not even the threats. It's the realization that the real enemy may have been standing inside the company the whole time, smiling, pretending to help, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Episode 8 of Landman Season 2 feels different from the very first seconds. There is no sense of balance anymore. The story is no longer about slow pressure or future risks. Now, everything feels immediate. Every conversation carries weight. Every pause feels dangerous. The trailer makes it clear that the company is standing on the edge, and one wrong step could send it straight into collapse. Tommy enters this episode already exhausted, but more alert than ever. He knows something isn't adding up. The oil wells are not just a business decision anymore. They're a ticking clock. The deeper problem is not whether oil exists underground. The real problem is who controls the narrative. Every report, every number, every prediction seems designed to push Tommy and Cammy into a corner. And when everyone is telling you the odds are terrible, the question becomes simple but terrifying. Are they warning you? Or are they guiding you toward failure? Cammy, on the other hand, is emotionally cornered. The trailer shows her no longer hiding the pressure she's under. She is desperate to save the company, but desperation is dangerous in this world. It clouds judgment. It pushes people to make bold moves without fully seeing the consequences. Cammy is no longer thinking like a strategist. She's thinking like someone who feels time slipping through her fingers. And that is exactly when mistakes happen. The title of the episode, Handsome Touched Me, sounds strange at first, almost misleading. But the meaning becomes clearer when you look at how power works in the story. Influence doesn't always arrive as force. Sometimes it arrives as charm, reassurance, and soft-spoken confidence. Someone touches the situation without leaving fingerprints. Someone nudges decisions just enough to make disaster look like destiny. This is where Charlie becomes impossible to ignore. Up until now, he has appeared helpful, calm, and professional. The kind of person you trust because he never raises his voice. But the trailer plants doubt in a very careful way. His confidence in failure is unsettling. He doesn't sound unsure when he talks about low success rates. He sounds prepared, almost comfortable. And when someone is too comfortable with bad outcomes, it raises a frightening question. Do they expect it, or do they need it? Galino's presence in Episode 8 feels heavier than ever. He doesn't shout. He doesn't threaten openly. Instead, he speaks like someone who already sees the end of the story. The trailer hints that he believes the company will fail, and maybe he needs it too. Because failure doesn't hurt the man waiting with money and contracts. Failure helps him. Every bad decision pushes Cammy and Tommy closer to dependence, closer to losing control, closer to signing away more than they realize. One of the most intense moments teased in the trailer is Cammy finally snapping. Her anger is not loud, but it is sharp. When she says, "How dare you?" it doesn't sound like emotion alone. It sounds like realization. As if a line has finally been crossed. As if someone said something they were never supposed to say out loud. And in that moment, the mask may begin to slip. Episode 8 sets the stage for betrayal, not through sudden violence or dramatic twists, but through something far more dangerous. Quiet manipulation. The kind that happens in meetings, in contracts, in friendly advice. This episode is not about explosions yet. It is about choices that lead to explosions later. And by the end of this hour, the audience is left with one chilling thought. If the wrong person is trusted right now, there may be no way back. And this is only the beginning. As Episode 8 moves forward, the tension stops simmering and starts tightening like a noose. The trailer makes it clear that decisions made here will not be reversible. This is the episode where intentions finally clash with consequences. No one can hide behind uncertainty anymore. Every character is forced to reveal not who they claim to be, but who they become under pressure. Tommy is pushed into the most dangerous position of his career. He is asked to move forward with a plan that statistically makes no sense. A 10% success rate is not hope, it is a gamble. And Tommy knows it. What makes this situation unbearable is that the pressure is not coming from enemies alone. It is coming from inside, from partners, from people who should be protecting the company, not pushing it toward the edge. Cammy's insistence on moving forward is not driven by greed or ambition. It is driven by fear. Fear of losing everything. Fear of being remembered as the one who failed. The trailer shows that she believes action is better than hesitation, even if the ground beneath them is unstable. But Landman has always shown us one truth again and again. Rushed decisions in the oil world do not forgive emotion. They punish it. This is where Galino's influence becomes impossible to ignore. He positions himself as the voice of realism, the man who has seen this kind of failure before. But his warnings feel carefully crafted, almost rehearsed. When he talks about the attempt being the end of the company, he does not sound concerned. He sounds certain, and certainty is powerful. It plants doubt where confidence should exist. It weakens resistance without a single threat. The most unsettling part of the trailer is how isolated Tommy begins to look. Conversations that should feel collaborative feel tense instead. He listens more than he speaks. He watches reactions. He notices who pushes hardest for failure and who stays silent. Because silence, in moments like this, can be louder than words. Someone is benefiting from confusion. Someone is benefiting from delay. Someone is benefiting from fear. Charlie's role grows darker the more you think about it. On the surface, he is still polite, still professional. But the trailer frames him differently now. His explanations are smooth, almost too smooth. His confidence in the numbers feels less like analysis and more like direction, as if he is guiding the company toward a specific outcome. And when trust is placed in the wrong hands, destruction does not need force. It happens naturally. Rebecca, too, stands at a crossroads. Her happiness now feels fragile. The pressure around her relationship and her role in the company begins to overlap in dangerous ways. The trailer hints that personal vulnerability could be used as leverage. And in a world driven by contracts and power, emotional weakness can be exploited just as easily as financial weakness. What makes episode 8 truly shocking is not a single dramatic moment, but the realization that the trap may already be set. Contracts may already be signed. Agreements may already be binding. Even if Cammy and Tommy begin to suspect manipulation, it may already be too late to simply walk away. Legal chains can be stronger than physical ones. The episode pushes one terrifying idea into the spotlight. What if failure is not accidental? What if it is engineered? If the wells fail, dependence becomes inevitable. And dependence means control shifts hands quietly, legally, permanently. By the end of this section of the story, the audience is left holding their breath, because it becomes clear that episode 8 is not about whether oil will be found. It is about whether truth will be uncovered before the final damage is done. And the closer we get to the finale, the more Landman reminds us that sometimes the greatest villains never raise their voices at all. As episode 8 reaches its most intense moments, Landman shifts from tension to revelation. The trailer suggests that this is the point where instincts finally overpower denial. Pieces that felt unrelated before start locking together. And once they do, the picture is disturbing. This is no longer just a risky business move. It begins to look like a coordinated push toward collapse. Cammy's anger becomes the emotional center of the episode. Her reaction is not impulsive anymore. It feels informed. Something is said that crosses a line, something that reveals knowledge Galino should not have. When she confronts him, it is not just about respect. It is about intent. And that moment hints that Cammy may finally realize the company has been played from multiple angles, not just pressured from the outside. Tommy, meanwhile, starts seeing the danger in trusting numbers alone. The trailer frames him as a man caught between logic and responsibility. If he stops the operation, the company may bleed slowly. If he moves forward, it could explode overnight. But the real shock is the possibility that both outcomes benefit the same person. That realization changes everything, because it means the choice was never really his. Charlie's presence becomes almost haunting by the end of the trailer. His calm no longer feels reassuring. It feels calculated. If he truly is feeding information that weakens Tex from the inside, then the betrayal is far deeper than expected. This is not sabotage with noise. This is sabotage with patience. And patience is far more dangerous. It allows destruction to look like bad luck. The episode also hints at consequences beyond the company. Legal threats begin to loom larger. Contracts signed in desperation may now become weapons. Once ink dries, intention no longer matters. And Landman makes it clear that even discovering the truth may not be enough to undo the damage. Winning a legal battle takes time, and time is the one thing this company does not have. What makes episode 8 truly shocking is the emotional cost. Trust fractures. Alliances weaken. People who believed they were working toward the same goal now realize they were never on equal ground. The trailer suggests that the fallout will not stay professional. It will become personal. And when business turns personal, mistakes multiply. The final moments teased in the trailer feel ominous rather than explosive. There is no clear victory, no relief, just the sense that something irreversible has begun. The wells may open, they may fail, but either way, the company will not be the same afterward. And neither will the people running it. As Landman Season 2 races toward its finale, Episode 8 stands out as the turning point. The episode where suspicion becomes awareness, where silence becomes accusation, and where the most shocking truth finally settles in. The greatest danger was never underground. It was sitting in the room the entire time. If this trailer is any indication, the remaining episodes will not be about preventing disaster. They will be about surviving it.